Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Love and Deepspace, also affectionately known as the female Gooner game, is going to change the game industry forever. No, really, that's my argument for the video. And then I'm going to show evidence in history to, convince you. Kind of how the whole thing goes. If you are not hip with it, as they say, no one says that. Love and Deepspace is a dating game, also known as an Otome game, from the studio Infold Games. Love and Deepspace first debuted January 18th, 2024, and just had its 1-year anniversary. And since its release, it has slowly but surely inched its way, not only into the worldwide market, but daringly into the worldwide mainstream, making so much money. Oh my god! Making so much money. Bit by bit, dollar by dollar, the game has started to earn more and more each month, catching up to some of the biggest gacha games in this space until in recent months, it has been the highest grossing gacha for like 3 months straight. Do you know how huge that is? They beat Hoyoverse, okay? Hoyoverse, the gacha company, okay? This company's behind hits like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero. This company has had an iron grip on the gacha sphere for a very long time, but oh, the hot men dating game is making more money? What? With its silly fan base of predominantly women? How is that possible? What is going to happen and why? Will Love and Deepspace change the gacha game industry and possibly the overall game industry forever as we know it? I don't know. I think so, personally. Let's find out. Hey, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is E, as in extra, get your scoop here. We're talking about hot men today, as opposed to hot women. I like to switch it up and keep it fresh here. And I hope you are having a lovely day. Rare moment where I'm nice. If you have watched my last few videos, yes, I have mentioned Love and Deepspace somehow in each one. So now I'm finally making a whole video on it. So the warning signs were there. I don't know what to tell you. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Like the video and subscribe or I'll die. If you want to support the channel, you can do that at the coffee.com/ESocial and become a member to see videos early. Okay, let's start. Hear ye, mine lord. I have come post haste to bring the most urgent of messages to thine court of fellows. Is it the North Kingdom? Are they preparing an attack? No. Oh, mine lord, it's today's sponsor, Squarespace. Oh. Good fellows of the court of Ratsua, today I bring good tidings. Doth thou ever wished for a website to house all products thy might wish to sell? A place to show thine artwork portfolio? Or a contact website so you doth not have to rely on the carrier pigeon? Squarespace has doth covered. Squarespace is the website building platform with a huge litany of pre-built layouts for this court to choose from to fit whatever niche thy might wish for. If one of those niches is to sell thy products in the town square, then look no further than their online store feature, where thou can sell physical, digital, or service products such as thy magic spells ye make. Squarespace makes thy lordship selling most easy. If riding on horseback to all thy neighbors to spread the news of your potions and elixirs hath grown tiresome, then shed attention on Squarespace email campaigns. Collect thy subscribers' emails and help build thy connections through email updates, welcome emails, and sale announcements. The analytics tool will also notify thy lordship on the impact of each email campaign so you know which villagers are down with it, as the North Kingdom says. So make haste, sign up for Squarespace today with my link in the description to save 10% off your very first purchase of a website or a domain. Make sure to use my code EISSOCIAL. Okay? Thy court of Ratsua, I bid thee farewell and good luck on your future endeavors. Thank you so much again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And yeah, my lord, the North is readying their attack on the capital. Oh. They have pitchforks, flaming cannonballs, and they made a Twitter thread about you. It looks bad. It looks really bad, my lord. Yeah, you should look into that. before we look to the future, we must look to the past, I guess. So, Love and Deepspace, which I will now be referring to as LADS from this point forward, which is the abbreviation of the title, and also because yep, those are LADS. LADS is a type of game called an Otome game, with 5 male love interests as of writing: Xavier, Zayne, Rafayel, Sylus, and the newest addition, Caleb. Our job, girl, in this game is to have them fall in love with us, which is what makes this game an Otome game. An Otome game is a dating game where you play as a female main character that is surrounded by dashing single men, all vying to get a piece of that ass. Otome in Japanese means maiden or young girl, highlighting the intended audience. But where did Otome start and how much have we grown? So to fully understand the gravity of LAD's success, we have to see where we started from, okay? We have to compare and contrast because the growth is insane. So we set the stage in Japan 1994, where the earliest form of the Otome game hit the streets: Angelique. Angelique is the grandmother of Otome and was created at the game studio Koei in its female dev division called Ruby Party. Angelique created the blueprint to what makes Otome Otome. It was a visual novel simulation strategy type of game where you, the main character, are a girl who is eligible to be the next queen of the universe and must work with the 9 guardians, who are all very hot, to help win the crown. You can win and become the queen of the universe, or you can fall in love with one of the guardians and get a happily ever after. This game came into being because of Keiko Arikawa, who helped found Koei with her husband Yoichi Arikawa. Keiko Arikawa saw that there was a hole in the video game industry. There just weren't any games directed or made for women. She wished to change that. And like the bad bitch she is, she put together Ruby Party, a team made up entirely of women to work on creating what we now know as the beginning of Otome. Keiko Arikawa noted, according to Vice.com's article on this topic, that there weren't really any female developers in the game industry at the time, with Koei only having 1 female developer in the whole company. So she ended up bringing in a ton of ladies that didn't have any idea or have any background in game development or programming. But girl, they figured that out, okay? They figured it out. Like, they just made it. It's so cool. And as such, Angelique was born. Because of Keiko Arikawa's vision and the hard work from Ruby Party, a ball started to roll. A whole slew of young women adored Angelique and actually ended up pursuing a career in the programming industry, applying to work at Koei later in time, creating more women in a field that was and still is dominated by men. And with Angelique, Arikawa and Ruby Party proved that there was a market for women in gaming, and that female-focused games are not a waste of time or money. Arikawa once said, quote, "There were some who said the market is small. If you make games for women, they won't sell. But I thought the market is there. I'm glad I stuck to my conviction." Other developers at the time saw what Ruby Party was cooking up, such as Idea Factory, who created a division of devs called Otomate that ended up making other Otome hits, such as Amnesia, Hakuoki, Diabolic Lovers, and others. So one of the cool things about Otome games was that they are all different, okay? Some have intense drama, some have supernatural elements to it, while others historical, and some are just horror games, such as My Horse Prince. Genuinely, what the f***? I don't know, gang, should we count that one? The Otome sphere was and still is a really vibrant and eclectic gaming space that doesn't fit a specific mold. Like, some Otomes are strictly visual novels, others follow like an RPG-esque type of gameplay, some are card battles, and others are more like strategic asset management games. Japan was not the only place where Otome games were being made, but it is widely regarded as the birthplace of the Otome, and was where you would look towards if you had a hankering for Otome. There were some Otome-esque games, of course, outside of Japan, such as Ciao Bella in 2007, which was created by Frima Studios, a Canadian company. But really, it wasn't until relatively recently when dating games targeted towards women started to find its footing in the West, where the Western indie gaming sphere took up the mantle of dating sims. Some of the indie hits include Boyfriend Dungeon, Imperial Grace, and Hatoful Boyfriend, which is a game where all the hot guys are birds. What the hell? sure. No, but genuinely, I have heard that Hatoful Boyfriend is like a masterpiece and that something crazy happens at the end. I have no idea. But I will be playing. But questionable bird dating sims aside, for years, Western audiences have had to rely on indie devs for dating sims, which is awesome, by the way. Okay, I love you, indie devs. You guys are my favorite. But never really getting any love from big Western studios with bigger budgets and higher quality Otome games. And to make matters worse for the Western Otome fan, the games from Japan just weren't being translated. Japan held the jewels and hits of the Otome genre, and for years, the Western audience begged and pleaded please for English translations of these games. It just didn't really happen often, due to logistical reasons sometimes, but usually because the game companies didn't think there was enough of a Western audience to warrant having to localize the games. The first translated Otome game into English was Yojinbo in 2006, with localizations like it few and far between since then. I'm not wearing my ears. Okay, I'm back to feeling like myself. I'm sorry you had to see the other version of me. I'm so sorry. Skipping forward a tiny bit, and we land at the feet of Mystic Messenger. Yup! Yup! Girlies who were there for Mystic Messenger just had flashbacks to waking up in the dead of night to talk to, like, I don't know, the hot CEO. Why am I talking to Jumin Han at 1 a.m.? He's not real. What am I doing with my life? Yes, ladies, I'm very happy to say, one of you, my roots are in Mystic Messenger. So Mystic Messenger was a pretty big deal because it was the first Otome that was like a hit globally and really broke through a lot of barriers in regards to how Western audiences would receive Otome games. Released in 2016 by Chariots, Mystic Messenger was and still is a mobile Otome game that has that visual novel type of beat with an anime-esque art style. Some of the biggest Otome devs have been trying to find a way to make Otome games more accessible, with the PlayStation Portable and PS Vita being consoles that brought more fans to the genre in the past. But with Mystic Messenger's success, it was clear that mobile was the way to go. In the game, you are invited or hacked into a secret chat room. There's like a whole dark backstory, like a cult is involved, I think. I don't fully remember. And this chat room was filled with hot guys. Yeah! And there is a specific romantic route that you can take for each of them. You can fall for Zen, the hot actor, or Jumin, the hot CEO inheritor, whatever. Yusong, the league gamer, or 707, the hacker guy. There were other special characters you can unlock romance to, but I think those are spoilers if I remember correctly, so I will not be saying. Also, you could pursue Jaehee, who is Jumin's secretary, and though it was shown to be like platonic, the subtext was there. Honestly crazy that Chariots was like, yeah, you could do the Jaehee route. It's platonic though. Nothing gay happening here. No siree. And then we got pictures like this. We're like married, but okay. Mystic Messenger was cool because the story was told primarily through texts with the members, or through phone calls. The guys would call you to speak more about whatever route or story you were pursuing. There were in-person scenes, of course, where your character is shown to be with the characters in whatever scenario that was going down, but these were like still images. There was no animations, but beautiful art regardless. But Mystic Messenger marked a shift in the industry. As Yatachi.com puts it, quote, after a staggering number of 1 million downloads, Mystic Messenger supported what many had already known, but couldn't tangibly prove until now. There really was a market for Otome games for English speakers, and it was growing larger in size by the day. So with all of this history, with the struggle to find footing in the Western market, or to even acknowledge the female market, and the success of Mystic Messenger, the stage was set for love in Deepspace. As you have seen, it has been a long-ass, arduous journey for the rise of the Otome game, and god man, it feels so good to see lads succeed like this, okay? If Mystic Messenger marked a shift, then Love in Deepspace marks the rapid movement of a tectonic plate. Now, what even is Love in Deepspace? Okay, I forgot I didn't even tell you. In Lads, you play as a young woman who works as a hunter. In this futuristic setting, monsters called Wanderers wreak havoc, and hunters are tasked with, hunting and killing them. Straightforward. Evolvers are special people in the society that possess an evol, which is just like a superpower. In the main storyline, you meet some pretty cool people, and you lose some pretty cool people, and you find out that your childhood, far from pleasant. Okay, there there is something valuable within you that people are willing to kill for. So you gotta like figure that shit out. Not stressful at all. During the adventure, you of course meet 5 dashing, hot as hot as hell men. Oh lord. So the cast of men are the selling point of the game. Xavier is a mysterious fellow hunter. He can manipulate light, that is his evol, and there's just something about him that he isn't fully telling you about. Don't let his cute ass baby eyes fool you. That man is a freak. Next, you get reacquainted with a man you used to know as a child, Zayne, who is a cardiac surgeon, and because you got like a part yourself, he's also your doctor. That's a little freaky, I am aware. His evol is ice, and I am deeply in love with him. Then you meet an eccentric and 100% bisexual, don't fight me on this, famous artist named Rafayel. His evol is fire, and he is a mermaid. Long story. Later, you're like kidnapped, long story, and you meet Sylus, the scary leader of the crime syndicate on Aquinas, an organization that is on the Hunters Association's watch list. So you shouldn't be hanging out with him because he's bad. Sylus's evol, girl, I don't know. It's like red smoke. I think it's like energy manipulation. He can like kill people with it. It's all very attractive. And there is another love interest, or LI for short, and his name is Caleb. Caleb's evol is gravity manipulation. We were like raised together by a woman who has a sketchy relationship with both of our past, long story. And Caleb, ooh, I'm excited. As of filming this, he is not in the game yet. He's fine. He's so hot. Oh my god. He is so hot. I honestly was so not interested in him at all. But then his trailer dropped and he's a little crazy. Like, he's a little crazy. He's got like a Winter Soldier moment and he's like possessive. Anyways, this part of the video is not for me to go apeshit wild for Zayne and Sylus and forever ruin my digital footprint and any shred of dignity I may have left. No, this part of the video is to talk about why love in Deepspace works from an objective, not at all biased viewpoint. I have no stake in this. So as we talked about earlier, there is not like a set concrete formula for the mechanics of an Otome game. Lads, in my humble opinion, is making such a splash in the market these days and the Otome scene due to the fact that the game has such a wide range of mechanics. I remember when a friend started playing and they said to me, I thought this was a dating game. Why do I have a gun? I rage quit in this game sometimes. I'm sorry to say. There is a lot of fighting with different fighting modes, strategies, dodging mechanics, special abilities, and honestly, so much, okay? Sorry to say, it took me 2 months to understand the whole shield weakness break thing. I was so confused. The guys come in different companions, so your battles alongside them are all pretty different. Along with fighting everything, we get like a visual novel type of storytelling for the main storylines and other stories in the game. We have a gacha mechanic to collect memories, which power your characters in battle. We get card games. We have dress-up options and various special events that happen time to time that have very fun mini games. We got a Suika game knockoff once. It was so much fun. It's kind of like every single Otome and gacha game like wrapped up into one. But the thing I think is most important to talk about is this game's ability to immerse you in just pure delusion. This game's strongest suits, in my opinion, are the memory kindles, date audios, and the main screen interaction mechanics. Let me explain. Memories, as I said earlier, are things that help power your team to be able to beat up creatures. Depending on the memory's rarity, you unlock a special story. If you get a 4-star memory, then you unlock its corresponding date audio. Date audios either tell a cute little interaction story with him in the tender moments category, while the secret times 4 stars are a lot more intimate, let's just say. In this version of the 4-star audios, he talks directly to you. You don't have any like dialogue, you just kind of like figure out what's going on in the scene based on what he's saying and like the background sound effect. It's actually like really cool. And I don't necessarily mean explicit when I use the word intimate, even though there is one that's questionable, but by intimate, I mean like there's an audio in there where he comforts you on your period, you know, like honestly based. And the voice actors in these audios, well, they get really close to the mic and it's very immersive. Very talented men. Let's just say that. Very talented men. Now, the 5-star memories really rank up the Delulu, okay? These memories tell stories of your relationships with the guys, but this time it's a mix of visual novel with first-person animation. And the graphics, ooh, crazy. The climax of each story takes the form of a kindled moment, where the guys are insanely well animated and make eye contact with the camera, and we can like interact with them, basically. Some of these memories are cute, and some are crazy. Some are insane. Like, what are we doing to Sylus? Boy, get up. That and the fact that it's like a first person POV plays into the immersion fantasy a lot, okay? I have explained this in detail just to show like a fraction of the amount of detail and content the devs have committed to for this game. But the thing that I feel like is the most Delulu is the main screen interaction thing. When you load the game, one of the guys will be looking at you like the standing emoji, and you can like poke him to get a reaction. He will say something based on where you poke him at. You can like dress him up like it's a fashion game. You can ask him what you should eat for the day, and you can spend quality time where you can like work out alongside him, or you can study or work with him. You can also just like listen to his heartbeats, and you can also talk to him about your day and like trauma dump if you wanted. I don't know. And if you thought those were really immersive, well, the newest updates that are almost out as of filming this will allow you to track your periods with the game's new period tracker. The boys will like comfort you if you say you were on your period. What the hell? Sure. You know? Sylus, can you hand me the ibuprofen? I'm going to kill you, bro. And there's another feature where you can just have him introduce himself to your parents or your friends. They genuinely look at the camera and they go, "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Player's last name. I am her boyfriend." Okay, so we're being delusional. Okay, I'm here. I got it. And we can text them and they can call us like Mystic Messenger. And I haven't gotten to this part yet, but I think at a certain affection level, you get married. So all of that with Zayne staring at the camera saying, "Hi, I am her boyfriend," with the animations like these and audios of him cooking me dinner. Yeah, so Zayne and I are dating. Got it. So, needless to say, the immersion, the delusion this game instills, and may I say, it's excellent. I'll take 14 more. And also, I think the immersion is one of the many reasons for its insane popularity, if not like the main one. When I played Mystic Messenger and dabbled in other Otomes in the past, I always like wanted something more, you know? Don't get it twisted. Okay, we are not in a which Otome game is better contest, okay? I'm just noting differences. But for example, in Mystic Messenger, this is gonna sound crazy, but I always felt like a barrier between me and the characters, and like, duh, they're not real, it's a video game, so that makes sense. But, you know, I mean, the phone calls was probably the most immersive delusional feature for me, but lads, I think they have nailed the immersion, okay? The day-to-day check-in. Him like talking to you and you can poke him and he'll like respond. There are audios that let you like close your eyes and hear his voice like in your ear. You can play crane games with them and card games and they'll like tease back. And if you're like super stressed about the script you're writing, you can like have him right there to work alongside you as like emotional support. Do you think I'm joking? Okay, I did in fact write the script with Zayne doing his work right next to me. I don't play. Personally, I have always craved for a game just like this, and Lads just fits this craving perfectly for me. This game combines some of the best the Otome genre has to offer, plus what the overall gacha genre has to offer, with incredible graphics and insane immersion. I really feel like there's no other Otome game like this right now. It has everything and then some. But no, I have not played every Otome in existence. This might be very similar to other Otomes I am not familiar with, but it definitely is the most popular, period, okay? It has everything and then some. And then like, you know, people are surprised as to why it's one of the biggest gacha games, and in recent months, the most selling gacha game. Now, let's talk numbers so I can prove to you what I'm saying and I'm not like hallucinating this. So Lads came out at the beginning of 2024. So I will be looking at the data since June 2024 up until December 2024 to show you a good rough idea of how Lads was and is faring within the gacha market. This video was researched and made middle of January 2025, so I do not have January's data, obviously. But it might be higher than December's. All data that I'm pulling from comes from gacha revenue or from Sensor Tower, which are websites that showcase estimates of revenue based on each gacha game's public performance. These are estimates, I want to stress, as the websites do, and they are not definitive revenue figures. But these sites are still a great place to go off of. First of all, for people who don't know, Lads is a gacha game. So I have been throwing around the word gacha a lot. So if you don't know what gacha is, let me tell you what that is. A gacha is a type of game that has like a gambling feature to it, essentially. You can use in-game currency or real-life money to spend on banners that feature special limited time characters, weapons, or other useful items that would be valuable to the player. It's basically a slot machine. Yeah, girl, it's gambling. And they could be definitely dangerous and very addictive, but that's a whole other video. Remember to always spend wisely, go free to play. It's what I usually do. So gacha games just dominate the mobile game space, and unsurprisingly, they are very lucrative. How lucrative? Well, some of the top gacha games are making tens of millions of dollars per month. Hoyoverse, as I mentioned earlier, has the titan grip on the gacha market, with 3 of their games, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero, are always in like the top 5 highest earning games. It's very rarely when they drop below that. I mean, period. I mean, I feel like Genshin Impact changed everything with their open world, fantasy dynamic, and amazing characters. When Genshin Impact was first released, it was genuinely a huge shift in gacha and just mobile games. And Hoyoverse as a gacha company carries a level of prestige I can't even begin to explain, you know? There have been many Genshin killers that have popped up over the years, but none have successfully killed Genshin. I don't know if you could tell, but I talk a lot about Genshin on my channel, so go watch my videos and subscribe if you would like more of that. But in June 2024, for example, Honkai Star Rail made roughly $60 million just in that month. Genshin Impact was in second place with 38 million. Genshin Impact is slowing down in comparison to its past, but it's still like a titan amongst other gachas. But in that same month, Love and Deepspace was pretty far down the list, with it apparently only making around 2 million globally, but like 27 million locally in China, which is its country of origin, if I'm understanding this graph correctly. Now remember that, and let's look at December 2024, about half a year later. Oh, holy $90 million in December 2024 alone. Zenless Zone Zero, which is another Hoyoverse game, their newest one, was second at around 58 million. The Gap, a gacha revenue expert, I am not, but in these 6 months that I analyzed, $90 million months are not super common. Let's just say that. The only other time that I saw $90 million made was when Zenless Zone Zero actually like debuted. In these screenshots of data from Sensor Tower, which was provided by Numberlock BS on Reddit, shout out to you, we can see month by month, Lads slowly rise to being second highest grossing gacha game, to being the highest grossing gacha game in October, November, and December of 2024. The same Reddit user, Numberlock BS, in a different post claimed that there was some glitches on Sensor Tower's website for November, so I am basing November's claim on gacha revenues listing, where we can see here Lads made about 58 million in November, which you could see far surpassed its competitors that month. So yeah, it's continuously beating other gachas' ass. And I think it's all due to that one Rafayel Apple ad.
Who are you? Oh, that's so sweet of you. I mean, is that all you have, an apple?
Genuinely, why does that ad exist? Honestly, some may say that it's surprising that this game is doing so good because it's an Otome game, but I think the success is surprising because they ran this cursed, horrible ad and somehow didn't head dive into bankruptcy. So why does this matter? Games make a lot of money. So what? This Otome game is kicking ass in the gacha space. Who cares? Well, I do, for one, and I think this will mark a shift in the gacha gaming sphere and maybe the overall general gaming space. Not to be like the sky is blue, but video games have largely been seen since their inception to be like a guy thing. I mean, personally, growing up, none of my girls played video games, and at lunchtime I would see boys huddling around their DSs, playing Super Smash Bros. And, you know, some of them were my friends and I'd ask to join in, and then I was told to get lost because I'm a girl. And I value my life. I learned after a few times I would never ever get on mic while playing Overwatch. And honestly, if I say I play cozy or wholesome games like Animal Crossing, then you know what? I'm not a real gamer because I don't clock into COD every day. Society sees gaming to be like a boys thing, but I really think this perception is wrong. This perception is what causes a lot to assume that games aren't made for women. I don't believe that games are made only for men. Some of the best games out there appeal to everyone, and I think that's what makes them amazing. But according to a Statista report, as of June 2024, 49% of the US gaming population is female. Girl gamers make up half the market, and yet the perception of women in video games has maintained for so long a delusional women don't game, or if they do, then they aren't heavy spenders or they aren't worth investing in. And you know what? I don't believe all video games are made for guys, but in the AAA gaming sphere, there are a lot of high quality games made with men and masculinity in mind. Can we say the same for women? Ask yourself, are there a lot or really any AAA games made to cater to women? Not just with everyone in mind, but with women as their target? Well, that's where Lads come in. A game that is primarily marketed to women. And that proves that, holy crap, you can make a lot of money by investing in this market because it exists. Infold Studios seems to notice the potential in the female market by making Lads and by also making Infinity Nikki, yet another game that released at the end of 2024 made for femininity. It's just cool to see Lads make more money than the gacha titans like Genshin Impact, an objective masterpiece that was made, you know, for everyone. It's cool. Now relax, do I want all games to be made for a female audience? Relax, shut the f up. No, I don't. Don't go there. But the track record of barely having any high quality, high budget games from big studios being made for girls. It is so nice to see Lads succeed like this. Am I crazy? Also, by the way, I say it's marketed to girls, but of course anyone can play Love and Deepspace. Play it. It's really good. It's just a good game. But seeing all of this success, the buzz Lads is causing, the enormity of the growing fan base, and the money it is making, it's really a wonder why it took so damn long for a game like Lads to exist. I believe there is a discussion to be had about the perception of dating sims in the West. I mean, in high school, I didn't tell anyone I played Mystic Messenger because I thought it was like lame of me, you know? I was super insecure about being unable to find like love in real life. So instead, I will text fictional hot anime guy at 1 a.m. A lot of people see femininity and stuff like this as silly, and I think many feel and felt the same way. And I know there are people who feel that way about Love and Deepspace. I'm loud and proud about my love for that game though, as you could tell. Also, dating games or dating aspects to games are not taken seriously. Like, I talk about the romance route I take with Gale in Baldur's Gate 3 and how seriously I take that because that is my man, and my best friend laughs at me. But then when I like played with him and showed him my crazy builds and tactics, and then he believed I was like good at the game. Bro, you suck. I have almost 600 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. Of course I'm good at the game. If I wasn't good at the game, what am I doing? Kissing Gale for 600 hours. Yeah. And I believe, and this is more of my opinion and observation of things, that there is such a stigma, not only surrounding dating sims or Otome games, but also just around femininity. Again, water is wet. So man, a high budget dating sim game for girls, that would not be taken seriously, okay? It'd be seen as a joke, a silly waste of space, a non-money maker. Well, Love and Deepspace seems to be doing just fine. And on a more like personal note, I guess, It's funny to say that through playing Love and Deepspace, I love women even more, okay? Like, I know that's crazy, but listen. The dev team of lads has got to be, like, overwhelmingly female. The writing, the characterization of the guys, the period tracker being implemented. In that one scene where Zayne just briefly glances at you while he's about to go save someone's life on the operating table, a woman wrote that. It really feels like a femininity party, you know? It really feels like, and maybe I'm being delusional, but it feels like a bunch of ladies, just like the Ruby party all the way back in 1994, got together and said, "Girls, we know what you want, and we are here to deliver." And maybe I'm being like too naive, but the game doesn't feel demeaning. It's not low quality or like trashy for a quick few easy bucks to make off of some silly ladies. There is love in this game. And I'm not talking about the love that we have for Sylus, okay girl? But the love that's between the devs and the players. It just makes me so happy. You know how I said earlier that Angelique influenced a whole generation of girls to get into game development and programming? Well, maybe lads will be like that too. I mean, women only make up 24% of the workforce still. Maybe lads and the other games that will inevitably follow will help add to those numbers. Maybe there are some women inspired by older Otome games like Angelique got into the dev space and are working on Love and Deepspace now. Honestly, I would love to see Love and Deepspace be one of the reasons why there is a shift in gaming, in the gacha sphere or in the overall industry. Because I want more games like this, and for it to create communities like the lads communities. Girl, I love the lads fandom, okay? I love seeing women being excited. I love seeing women feel safe to be open about how hot they think this guy is, or helping each other out with getting through fighting stages. I love seeing women share raunchy fan fiction that they read or they wrote with each other. I love seeing women be cringy and loving a game that seems to want to celebrate them and not demean them. Lads, girlies, man, I love you guys. Your joy makes me so happy. And also, yes, numbers aside, it's doing really good. But I've also noticed that some really big fan artists online that are big in the Genshin and Honkai Star Rail communities are starting to make lads content. So I really feel like when you start seeing the big fan artists start drawing the game, then you know it's like doing really well. So honestly, shout out to all of the fan artists, the fanfic writers, and overall fans of lads online. I love you guys, for real.
Okay, so that was a lie. I said I love all of the lads girlies in the fandom. However, footnote, addition 2, I actually only like some of you, okay? Because some of you guys, and I know it's the loud minority, but you guys are loud and you guys are annoying and you guys need to learn fandom etiquette. I have to come on here and I have to say some things, okay? I wrote the script during a nice like honeymoon moment within the lads fandom and the growth of the game. I feel like I wrote it and I experienced just like lovely girly pops enjoying a fun game together, and I'm so excited about its success. I mean, this whole video is talking about how big it is, but unfortunately, as all things turn out to be, as they say, the bigger the fandom, the more assholes that ruin it for everybody. And you guys, some of you suck. In these last few days, I've been witnessing things in the lads fandom that I had not like witnessed while I was, you know, writing and filming the script. So I feel like I have to say something. I need to say something. I know a lot of toxicity is within the fandom because of how huge it is now, and also because of Caleb, the recent love interest. There's a lot of like controversy surrounding him as like a love interest, and that's due to like a number of factors, given that his relationship to MC was previously seen as like a familial type of relationship. I never read it as that way. I always saw it as like childhood friends that were like close due to like circumstances, which is I think always what was supposed to be insinuated, but some people don't like that he's a love interest because of that, and also because my man's crazy. Because my man needs to go see a medical professional ASAP, okay? My man is going through it, but if you are an Otome player, if you are an Otome regular, you know that this is light work, okay? Caleb being yandere kind of up, just another day, you know? It's just supposed to be part of the fun, but people are taking things like really seriously. I've been seeing people get death threats, I've been seeing people get other threats, so I just want to come on here and say, if you hate Caleb, play a different route. That's the thing, you're not supposed to love every single love interest. Play a different route. You can play Zayne, so you can only level up Zayne if you want. Literally, the sky's the limit. It's so much fun when you don't give a shit about stuff. You know what I mean? It's so much fun when you actually care about real world issues. Or stop playing the game, another obvious choice you can make. If you hate Caleb, don't be sending death threats to people. Don't be creating a really toxic fandom environment, and learn some fandom etiquette, okay? Because you guys doing too much. All of the girlies who stay in their own lane, who make their own content, who write their own fan fictions for whatever love interest they're into, and, you know, are nice and civil and kind to each other. Love you guys. Hunger Games symbol. I don't know. I love you guys. Everybody else that are causing a huge deal with Caleb and entering this fandom disrespectfully, rethink your choices. You suck. Just wanted to come on here and add that. Goodbye.
So, we have arrived at the ending traffic of our stage. So, to TLDR this whole video, Otome games have made a slow yet steady rise throughout history, culminating into the massive success that is Love and Deepspace. Love and Deepspace works. There is no wonder why it is the highest earning gacha as of recent months. Women make up half of the gaming population. It's a real head scratcher as to why a game as big as Lads took this long to be a success. Love and Deepspace proves that women are powerful gamers, they are powerful spenders, and are deserving of recognition in the high budget gaming sphere. Love and Deepspace may change a lot, and may we see a lot more like it in the years to come. And may we witness the peak of the Otome game age. This video is dedicated to the Love and Deepspace fandom as well as other Otome fandoms. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, then I'd be very grateful for a like and for a subscribe. The subscribe button is in fact free and actually will guarantee that you will win your next Oshi's 5-star memory card in the coming banners. That is a joke for legal reasons, but like it might be true. So let me know what you think. Do you play Otome games? Which ones are your favorite? Do you agree or disagree that Lads will have an impact on the gaming industry? Who is your Lads Oshi or husband? I want to know. Obviously, mine is Zayne and Sylus. Tied. I can't pick between the two of them. If you really liked the video, then please consider supporting the channel on our Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/easocial. It is basically a Patreon. And for only $5 a month, you will have access to videos super duper early and a shout out at the end of every single video, plus some other perks. So huge, ginormous, huge thank you to our supporters. Thank you so much to Alienize, Jonah, Luel, Kaya, Luandrill, Joanne, Moon, Blue X Crystal, Summers, Blue Ink Alchemist, Pauline, Shalami, Cass, Onyx Side, Atticus, Ayake, Pierre Burner, Selkable, Haley Robinson, Ray Fields, Zendella, Bus Driver, Will Copy, Blurry, and Clee. Your guys' support blows my mind. Thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you, thank you. We are also gaming over on twitch.tv/easocial. You should come down for some sick gamer moves. There are no sick gamer moves, I'll be real. Okay, well that is all from me today. If I don't see you on Twitch, then I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!
Wait for the chance to strike. Proceed with caution.